Welcome to Pastor Andrew's Inspirations. If you enjoy these videos, please click on the red subscribe button below and the bell for more. Welcome to our online church, a congregation made up of many from around the world. No offering is necessary. Subscribing and watching videos will keep us alive under God's watchful eye. Today we will be learning about the ancient Kingdom of Judah, Part 3. They had relations with the Kingdom of Israel. Rehoboam's son and successor, Abijah of Judah, continued his father's efforts to bring Israel under his control. He fought the Battle of Mount Zemaraim against Jeroboam of Israel and was victorious with a heavy loss of life on the Israel side. According to the Books of Chronicles, Abijah and his people defeated them with a great slaughter, so that 500,000 chosen men of Israel fell slain. And Jeroboam posed little threat in Judah for the rest of his reign. And the border of the tribe of Benjamin was restored to the original tribal border. Abijah's son and successor, Asa of Judah, maintained peace for the first 35 years of his reign. And he revamped and reinforced the fortress originally built by his grandfather Rehoboam. 2 Chronicles states that at the Battle of Zephath, the Egyptian-backed chieftain Zerah, the Ethiopian, and his 1,000,000 men and 300 chariots were defeated by Asa's 580,000 men in the valley of Zephath near Marisha. The Bible does not state whether Zerah was a pharaoh or a general of the army. The Ethiopians were chased all the way to Gerar in the coastal plain, where they stopped out of sheer tiredness. The resulting peace kept Judah free. For Egyptian incursions until the time of Josiah, some centuries later. In his 36th year, Asa was confronted by Abijah of Israel, who built a fortress at Ramah, on the border, less than 10 miles from Jerusalem. The capital became under pressure, and the military situation was precarious, as Asa took gold and silver from the temple and sent them to Ben-Hadad the first, the king of Aram Damascus, in exchange for the Damascene king conceiving his peace treaty with Baasha, or canceling his peace treaty with Baasha. Ben-Hadad attacked Ijon, Dan, and many important cities of the tribes of Naphtali, and Baasha was forced to withdraw from Ramah. Asa tore down the unfinished fortress and used its raw materials to fortify Geba and Mizpah in Benjamin on his side of the border. Asa's successor, Jehoshaphat, changed the policy towards Israel, and Israel pursued alliances and cooperation with the northern kingdom. The alliance with Ahab was based on marriage. The alliance led to disaster for the kingdom with the Battle of Ramoth-Gilead. He then entered into an alliance with Abijah of Israel for the purpose of keeping maritime commerce with Ophir. However, the fleet that was then equipped at Ezion-Geber was immediately wrecked. A new fleet was fitted out without the cooperation of the king of Israel. Although it was fruitful, the trade was not impeached. He joined Jeroboam of Israel in a war against the Moabites, who were under tribute to Israel. This war was successful, and the Moabites were subdued. However, on seeing Mesh's act of offering his own son in a human sacrifice on the walls of Kir Hareseth, filled Jehoshaphat with horror, and he withdrew and returned to his own land. Jehoshaphat's successor, Jeroboam of Judah, formed an alliance with Israel by marrying Athaliah, the daughter of Ahab. Despite the alliance with the stronger northern kingdom, Jehoram's rule of Judah was shaky. Edom revolted, and he was forced to acknowledge its independence. A raid by Philistines, Arabs, and Ethiopians looted the king's house and carried off all his family except for his youngest son, Abijah of Judah. There was a clash of empires. After Hezekiah became the sole ruler in 715 BCE, he formed alliances with Ashkelon and Egypt and made a stand against Assyria by refusing to pay tribute. In response, Sennacherib of Assyria attacked the rebuilt cities of Judah. Hezekiah paid 300 talents of silver and 30 talents of gold to Assyria, which required him to empty the temple and royal treasury of silver and strip the gold from the doorposts of Solomon's temple. However, Sennacherib besieged Jerusalem in 701 BCE through the city, though the city was never taken. During the long reign of Manasseh, Judah was a vassal of Assyrian rulers. Sennacherib and his successors, Esarhaddon and Ashurbanipal, after 669 BCE. Manasseh is listed as being required to provide materials for Esarhaddon's building projects, and as one of the number of vassals who assisted Ashurbanipal's campaign against Egypt. When Josiah became king of Judah in 640 BCE, the global situation was in flux. To the east, the new Assyrian Empire was beginning to crumble. The Neo-Babylonian Empire had not yet risen to replace it. Egypt, to the west, was still recovering from Assyrian rule. In the power vacuum, Judah could govern itself for the time being without foreign intrusions. However, in the spring of 609 BCE, Pharaoh Necho II personally led a sizable army up the Euphrates to aid the Assyrians, taking the coastal route into Syria. At the lead of a large army, Necho passed the low tracts of Philistia and Sharon. However, the passage over the ridge of hills, which shuts in on the south, the Jezreel Valley, was blocked by the Judean army led by Josiah, who may have considered that the Assyrians and the Egyptians were weakened by the death of Pharaoh Psamtik I, only a year earlier, presumably in an attempt to help the Babylonians. Josiah attempted to block the advance of Megiddo, where a fierce battle was fought, and Josiah was killed. Necho then joined forces with the Assyrian Ashur-uballit II, and they crossed the Euphrates and laid siege to Haran. The combined forces failed to hold the city after capturing it temporarily, and Necho retreated back to northern Syria. The event also marked the collapse of the Assyrian Empire. On his return march to Egypt in 608 BCE, Necho found that Jehoaz had been selected to succeed his father Josiah. Necho deposed Jehoaz, who had been king for only 3 months, and replaced him with his older brother Jehoiakim. Necho imposed on Judah a levy of 100 talents of silver, or about 3.4 metric tons, and a talent of gold, about 75 pounds. Necho then took Jehoaz back to Egypt as his prisoner, never to return. This was the ancient kingdom of Judah, part 3. Please stay tuned for part 4. Adonai Nisi, the Lord, is our banner. Remember, if you like these videos, please click on the red subscribe button below and the bell for more. God's blessings be upon this message and us all.